Hi students, I hope all are fine. So the purpose of today's video class is to give the lessons which we have for the exam in a concise form. Okay, we are going to have 4 lessons in the forthcoming exam. So the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan, then we have the wind and the little girl, and also towards the end we have a poem, the rain on the roof. Okay, these are the lessons which we have for the exam. So I will give you a kind of summary to all the chapters, so it will be beneficial to you as you write your examination. Okay, the first lesson that we have for our exam is the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. So we found in this particular story, we found that there was an instrument which was played in the beginning in the time of Emperor Aurangzeb. That instrument was called punji, and this instrument was banned. And the we see the origin of Shehnai. Okay, the Shehnai, which was prepared or which was invented by a barber who had access to the royal palace. And the Shehnai, the sound of the Shehnai was so sweet, so it began to have popularization. Okay, after the banning of the instrument called punji. And we see about these are the two instruments which we have already seen the differences about these two instruments in the previous classes, punji and Shehnai. And we see the life of Bismillah Khan, who popularized Shehnai in the modern times. We found how he practiced the Shehnai, and how did he pick up. He was from a he had a background of a musician in his family, and how he picked up the Shehnai, and how he practiced. He liked to practice in solitude, and though he was a Muslim, he could simply enter a temple and he could simply play the Shehnai without having without having any uh, any confusion, or he did not have any problem at all, or the people did not have any problem at all of a person who belonged to another religion coming to their place of worship and play this instrument. That shows the way he was able to pick up the Shehnai and the way in which he played the Shehnai, helping Indians, okay, helping those who were listening to him be taken aback because of the talent which he had in this particular instrument. And we found that he liked to stay in India itself. When he was in Benares, he used to miss Mumbai, and when he is in Mumbai, he used to miss Benares. That's what he used to be saying. And we know that he played only for 2 movies, and he said it is not good that he plays in the movies, because he found that the music was altered. There was so much of a artificiality when it is converted into films. That was the reason why he stopped playing for, why he did not encourage playing in movies. And we found out in 1947, when India received its independence, Bismillah Khan was the one who greeted the Indians this with his musical instrument called Shehnai. Okay, that is a story about Bismillah Khan, and we saw some other questions and answers, and some of the awards which he received. He received like awards like Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, and Padma Vibhushan, and so he was a great soul who played the Shehnai with so much of love and dedication. So the next lesson that we have is the wind. Okay, it's a poem, and it's a poem, very nice poem, which speaks how to befriend the wind, which speaks about how to befriend the wind. It is said the author tells the wind to come softly and not to destroy anything, but the wind, what does it do? It does exactly the opposite of what the poet is asking the wind to do. And the poet says, okay, I tell you to come softly, but you destroy all that is there. So in order to befriend the wind, what should we do? We have to make our houses firm. We have to keep our bodies firm, and we need to make our hearts steadfast. We have to be firm. We have to, we should not be people who simply fall like that. We have to be strong, standing very strong. Then only we can befriend the wind. And having a friendship with the wind is something that makes everyone happy. That's what the poet says in this poem, The Wind. And we came across a chapter, a lesson named The Little Girl, which I hope all are very much aware of. This story is about a little girl who was very much frightened of her father, and we know the incidents that are happening in the life of this little girl. This little girl was very frightened of her father, and when father goes out, she used to be very happy. She used to be very happy as the father goes out. And what happens when the father comes back? She would be very shy, not shy. She used to be very frightened to talk to her father. And what happened? On Sundays, her grandmother would send this little girl to talk to her father and spend more time with him and make more interaction with him. But the little girl, as she goes to her father, what would happen? The father would be sleeping, snoring and sleeping, and mother would be reading newspaper or any book. And whenever the little girl speaks to her father, she used to stutter. She used to stutter. Words won't flow from her mouth. So the father would say, okay, if you are speaking like this, you will have to be taken to the hospital because you are not talking properly. And the little girl thinks to herself, okay, only when I speak to father, only then I get this stuttering, not with anybody else. And her grandmother one day, she told the little girl, okay, you have to, okay, before that, the name of the little girl is Kezia, as you are aware of. Okay, the grandmother told the little girl, okay, your father's birthday is coming, so what you have to do, you have to prepare a cushion for the father. And the little girl was very happy, and she prepared a cushion. She tried to prepare a cushion. She stitched all the three sides of the cushion, and she was wondering what to fill it in with. And she was wondering what to do it. And she tried to approach her grandmother, but the grandmother was working outside. Her grandmother was in the garden, so the little girl could not approach the grandmother. Then she was searching for things, and she reaches the bedroom of her father and mother. And she sees some papers there. So she tears them into pieces and fills the cushion with that. And that night, the father and mother were searching for this paper which the little girl had torn, because it was a speech written by the father which was to be delivered in his office. So the father and son, everyone was searching, but they could not find out. Then the mother comes and asks the little girl, okay, have you found any paper? Then she said, okay, I took it and made a made a I took it for the surprise. Then the mother told the little girl, go at once and meet your father. Then little girl goes to meet her father, and the father asks her what she did. Then the father gives her a beating. Okay, and the little girl was very sad, and the little girl never forgave her father, because she used to be angry with her father because the father was not able to understand her. Okay, she tried to give her a present, but the father did not understand her. And she sees the McDonald's family, who had five children. They were playing, and soon and the little girl understood, okay, there are different fathers, not only all the fathers are not like my father, but there are also different fathers. Then one day what happens, the mother feels sick and she was in the hospital. Then the little girl is the little girl stays with the father. The grandmother was there attending to the mother, and the little girl that night she has a nightmare. And when she makes a noise, the father comes to her and he takes the little girl to his room and makes her sleep beside him. And the little girl feels so much of security with the father, and she understands that, okay, my father cannot be playing like the McDonald's, because my father goes to work every day and he is very tired, so he doesn't have time to play with me and so on. But the little girl has a kind of understanding that the father has a loving heart for her. Okay, so in the beginning, the little girl found the father did not like her, but towards the end, we find that the little girl understood that the father loved her very much. Okay, that is a story about this little girl. And next one that we need to we have for the exam is a poem, Rain on the Roof. So this poem, the poet is trying to say what the things which we like to be doing when it is raining. So the poet writes his own experience being in rain. He says, okay, when the rain comes, I like to be sleeping. And he says, the noise of the rain when it falls on the roof, it is like a bell. It's like a ringing of the bell. It has an echo. It is a very nice music that the rain makes. And this poet says he thinks of thousands of dreams, and he thinks of the past, means to say that he dreams of the future and also he thinks of the past. So the poet is trying to make a kind of a balance between the past and the future. And he says whenever whenever he gets rain, he tries to sleep and he tries to dream, and also he thinks of the past. When he is thinking of the past, he would think of his mother. Okay, the love that his mother had towards him, and what all things his mother would be doing. And she also was a person who was dreaming, but all her dreams came to a stop, came to a conclusion with the dawn. But what does the poet say? But the poet says we should not stop dreaming. Okay, we should not stop dreaming. Our dream should not stop with the dawn. That is what the poet is trying to say as he hears the noise of the rain. I hope today you have understood all these four lessons which we have for exam in a summarized manner. I hope this would be beneficial to you. Thank you and bye.